Hi everyone, welcome back to Caitlin's Corner. Today we have a really exciting video. Well, at least for me, it's exciting. I have gotten in the mail my David Austin roses. So a few months ago, I ordered the Queen of Sweden and the Claire Austin roses from David Austin. I got them a couple of days ago and they have been soaking in water since they arrived bare root. I am following the planting instructions from David Austin. So let's talk a little bit about that and we're going to get them planted up today. Our other part of our project is planting up my little pearl camellia that I got at Nuccio's back in October. I know it's crazy. I've had it in its nursery pot since October. I absolutely should have gotten it in the ground way sooner, but it seems to be doing just fine. It flowered beautifully. It's a Sasanqua camellia, so it blooms more in the late fall, early winter time frame, and it is just so pretty. I will throw a picture of what the blooms look like up on the screen here, but that is the other thing that we're going to get planted up. All of them are getting planted on the side of the house where the dining room window is. They're all going to kind of be evenly spaced around. I'll show you exactly what my plan is now. Okay, so this is the area that they're going to be planted up in. You can see I am working on getting rid of a lot of this grass. I'm eventually going to pull these beds out really, really far. So you can see the walkway right here. Eventually, the plan is to pull the bed out to right here. And this will be a boxwood hedge that goes across. It's going to be in not necessarily a straight line. There'll be some kind of intricacies to it, which is going to look very Disneyland, Versailles, think like really formal French garden. So that will be like that. And then we'll have all this be various planting beds with, all sorts of pretty things. So what I'm thinking in this area as far as design goes is a boxwood hedge ring that comes out relatively far, a beautiful fountain, behind it 3 pufferfish hydrangea, and then interlaced in that boxwood hedge having alliums pop up and other kind of tall panicle type flowers like foxglove, delphinium, all of that kind of stuff. I'll show you the fountain or a fountain that I'm thinking that is what I want for this space to go in there. And then over here, this is Arabian lilac, and they were, like columnar bush form. And the intention that I had was to have them grow up really, really tall, up in this range and have them be straight and all of that. And they just didn't get staked properly. And it was really hard. They grew super fast. So now they're kind of more or less trees. And I have them like this for now. But what I'd like to do is put in a large trellis. So probably, 3 posts, maybe 4, lattice up it, and then, capped at the top so that it kind of provides that privacy block to the neighbor instead. Yeah, so then these pots will move. These were here temporarily just because this area gets a pretty good chunk of sun and consistently throughout the day. So I figured all of these daffodils would be very happy here. This is the Ehrlicher type of daffodil. It has a whole bunch of really pretty blooms on it. It has bloomed first. I really, really like this. It is so cute and sweet, and like, look at how pretty each of these little teeny blooms are. So that's that one. And then in these 2 pots, it's Del Nassau that have not yet come up. And then the 2 medium-sized pots are White Explosion. So they're all kind of in the white peach family right here. But like I said, each of these pots will move eventually once they have stopped blooming. Alrighty, so now that we have talked plans, let's talk planting up bare root roses. So one of the great things that I got with my roses is this planting guide by David Austin. So I got the roses here in this box, and along with them came that planting guide. So I have already soaked them overnight for actually 2 nights. They have soaked in water. So that's the first step here. That's the first step here in this book, is getting them into water and reinvigorating their roots. Now, step 2 here says dig over the soil thoroughly. This area has been kind of dug up and mulched and all of that relatively recently. I did that a couple of months ago, so I'm going to kind of skip step 2 because it's already really happened. Step 3 is digging your hole, and then, you know, kind of just a normal steps. One of the things that it says to do is to cover the roots with this mycorrhizae inoculant, and this basically just really helps with root development and root growth. So let's do this first, then we will dig our holes, get them planted, and show you what it looks like. Okay, so here are my 2 bare root roses. I've got the Queen of Sweden right here. She is clearly marked here. And look at, she's already pushing a bunch of green growth, which is really exciting. So I'm going to set her up right there. And then this is my Claire Austin. Again, she's got a whole bunch of really great growth happening here. And look at all of these roots. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm setting them up right here. I've got this Myco Bliss Premium Mycorrhizal Inoculant, and I'm going to use the instructions right here. So apply 1 to 2 teaspoons per gallon size pot. I'm going to just directly put this in contact with the roots here and kind of just like sprinkle it on a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little bit into the hole as well. Okay, so I've got it on her. Okay. All right, let's get to planting. So I'm starting out by planting up the Queen of Sweden rose. It's going just to the right of the Australian willow. It looks like it's going really far forward in this flower bed, I realize, but remember that all of this grass that's right here is going to get torn out, and ultimately this bed is going to be huge. So I made sure to rough up the dirt a bit here. That way the roots have plenty of room to grow down and out. I also made sure to dig the hole relatively wide again so that the roots had plenty of space to move. I then added some more of the mycorrhizae and some biotone starter fertilizer into the hole just to encourage more root development and growth on the plant in the hopes that maybe we get some really pretty blooms this year. Then I made sure to cover up all the roots with dirt, and I did so up to the crown of the plant. So now we are moving on to our Claire Austin, and this one is a climber. So the intention is to build a trellis here and then have it climb up that trellis, shading the front door a bit. So same process as before, making sure that the dirt is roughened up and the hole is relatively wide, some mycorrhizae and some biotone in the hole, and then planting it up, covering it up until the crown of the plant. So here is our Claire Austin. She's going to, like I said, grow up. We're going to put in post for a trellis here and here. It'll be a white lattice trellis that will go all the way up to right up here, right kind of in flush in line with where the tops of the columns are. And then that will really shade in and create kind of a nice little environment on the porch. So we can do some more kind of shaded plantings there eventually once she grows up. I am so excited for her. What she will look like, I'm going to put up on the screen so you can see kind of the vision that I have for her here. Now it's time for me to plant up the Nuccio's Little Pearl Camellia. I start by making the hole about 2 times as wide and 1.5 times as deep as the root ball, and then amending the planting area with the Azalea Camellia acid soil and Azalea and Camellia fertilizer. This is absolutely instrumental in making sure that camellias and azaleas thrive and grow in my area because the soil that we have is pretty alkaline, and azaleas and camellias really like more acidic soil. I also make sure to keep the crown of the plant above soil level. In this area, it's a little bit hard to see, but once we get rid of this Arabian lilac and put in that nice white lattice trellising here, that camellia is just going to absolutely shine. And I can't wait for that. But basically, we'll have here our Queen of Sweden that is a gorgeous, gorgeous pink flower. And then right behind it, we'll have our Little Pearl Camellia. And she's going to grow nice and big, probably about 5 to 8 feet tall and wide, filling in this whole space really, really nicely. And she'll be a beautiful black drop for our Queen of Sweden. It'll be a nice green backdrop because unfortunately they won't be blooming at the same time, but it will be a nice succession of blooms because we'll get some really beautiful pink from our Queen of Sweden in the summertime, probably starting in like April, May, and all the way through until, gosh, at least September. And then bang, then we'll have our beautiful Little Pearl start blooming right behind her. You can see all of the buds that are setting here for this coming fall. But she'll start blooming, October, November, December, and they bloom for such a long time. So I am so excited to see that. She also is a pinkish color. So it'll be this, like I said, succession of beautiful pinkish white on both of those. So there you have it. That is planting up some bare root David Austin roses and a gorgeous Nuccio's Camellia. I could not be happier at the fact that I get to plant up some of these iconic brands in my garden. The fact that I have these is like a dream come true. I can't wait to show you them all in bloom. It is going to be so pretty. I have so many plans for this space. I kind of talked you through a little bit of what my vision is for this area, and we're getting rolling on it. Each space is little by little, just digging away and chipping away and getting things sourced and getting things planted and put into the ground. And little by little, it's just going to start becoming this dream space. So that should hopefully be of inspiration to you, is if you can dream it, you can do it. Just plug away little by little as you can and find beautiful things that you love. And, we can figure out how to incorporate those in our garden and in our life to just invigorate us and make us happy. I really hope you enjoyed it and hopefully got some inspiration of some beautiful plants to put in your garden. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.